And here we go. Back in that thing.
Yo. What's poppin'? It's your boy EJ, a.k.a. Sir Evangeline Joseph, a.k.a. The Bully, a.k.a. Mr. Petty.
It's your boy Wayne, Willmatic Beats. Mr. Father of the Year, Mr. Potter of the Year.
Come on, man. Shiloh
Educator
on
of the
way.
Year. Oh, yeah, baby Shiloh on the way.
Harlan, here now.
Big Harlan, right? The biggest.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
But it's never about us.
Never that, man, because we got another special guest in the building.
Man, we got the owner of Provida Records, Justin Fields in the building.
Mr. Justin Fields
What's
in
up,
the
y'all?
building.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How y'all doing?
Man, great, bro. You said what?
He won't be there as long.
Yeah.
But shout out, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Just finished the session.
Yeah.
Life's good.
First
Okay.
off, we aren't at Blue Canary.
We aren't at Blue Canary.
We're not at Iron Bank.
Not at all.
But shout out to Brian,
Yep. And shout out to whoever owns
Iron Bank. But we are at Provida Record Studio.
Right. Provide a record studio. The biggest.
The biggest. Talking to the owner.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
Come on now. Pull up.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Look me up
the address?
For a fee.
If you type in Provida Records on Google Maps, Apple Maps is gonna pop up.
It'll pop up.
Provida
Where
Records.
can they find you? I know this is
Everywhere. If you type in Provida Records on anything, it's gonna pop up. Twitter, Instagram,
There you go.
Snapchat.
Come
Spell
on,
it.
man.
Provida
Yeah.
Records.
Because people would have put in
ER.
provider.
Yeah.
And they would have thought
I've gotten it so many times. I can't find your place.
Yeah.
I can't find your place.
healthcare providers popping up.
Yeah.
Right.
Pediatricians. But nah, man. Provida Records, man. Type it in. Book your session with Mr. Justin Fields. He gonna get you in there.
He gonna get you in there, and he gonna turn up.
Yeah. For sure.
So how we like to start off our show is, where are you from?
I'm from here in Columbus.
Okay.
Most of my family stay up in South Carolina and Walterboro.
Okay.
And it's split between Walterboro and the other half stay in North Carolina and Charleston.
Okay.
But my mom and dad moved. They went to high school there in Walterboro and they moved down here.
So what brought you down here? Like what brought the family down here?
I don't even know for real. my
spun
dad
the
got
globe and
stationed
said,
here later on, but
Yeah.
he came down here. I think we had some family already down here to
Okay.
kind of help us out, but they wanted to change the scenery.
Yeah.
So they came down here and then had my brother, and then now I'm here.
Got it.
Oh, so you're not the oldest?
No, I'm not the oldest.
Okay.
I'm the youngest.
That's
Okay.
what's up, man. What made you fall in love with music?
Watching movies, watching old movies, Five Heartbeats,
That's
The
hard.
Temptations. Just watching movies like Mo Better Blues,
Yeah.
stuff like that. My dad had us on that when we were real young,
Okay.
watching all these Michael Jackson live shows and Michael Jackson American Dream, all that stuff. And so when I was real little, we always had like pianos and terrible guitars in our house that we just play around with. We're never good. I'm still, yeah. But we played around. We got around with it, and
Yeah.
it just was always in me. My dad always freestyling when we cleaning, doing stuff like that. He would wake us up rapping and stuff. So
Okay.
Imagine
he put it.
you in a deep sleep and your dad waking you up freestyling.
Oh my gosh! Every morning,
Yeah.
he had a new song to sing to get us out of bed.
Right. So was he freestyling his own lyrics, or was he singing other people's songs?
He was freestyling.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Just come in.
Was he hard? Was he?
Yeah, he was smooth with it. He was smooth.
Shout out to
So
He
Pops.
come in, yeah, shout out.
Was it ever a time when he did wake you up and he was freestyling, you was like, I'm gonna get him this time. And you start rapping.
Every time I'll be trying. I wasn't
Yeah.
as good naturally at like freestyling and stuff, but my older brother was. And so like I would be like nights before, I'll be sitting there, I'm like, oh, tomorrow night.
You doing written? You kicking some written?
He's kicking rich.
Yeah.
He like, hold on, man, hold on. That was a little too well thought out.
Paul's wondering like, when did you?
Yeah,
You
for
couldn't
real.
have thought of all that just then.
Yeah, me and my brother used to get in trouble with that all the time when we were younger. Especially my brother, because he would write down rap lyrics and be
Yeah.
cussing. He'd be cussing his little notebook.
Oh, man.
My mom found a notebook, have us in the living room, like, why you write this? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Going off on us.
Dang.
But we've always been doing music in my family just since we were little.
Yeah.
And when I got to like the middle school, I was doing band and stuff, and then I got in the choir. And when I got in the choir, that's when I was like, I actually want to really try to do some music.
So you can sing. You could hold a note.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I went to I got a scholarship to CV for to sing in the choir there, and I go around to random churches every now and then.
Yeah.
Hey man, congratulations.
You said CV? What, CVCC?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where I'll be at sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
tell me. So when was the first time that you actually like you discovered your voice?
Man, maybe last year. I've been singing off key and bad for like the last.
You've been singing off key and bad.
I had a joke, but I'm gonna save it. Fuck it. So did Brent.
I was just listening to Brent before you got here.
But Brent be sliding though.
You do.
Brent his inspiration.
Yeah, we fuck with it. He be off key though.
You do.
He said, "Oh, I can do that too."
Yeah, I heard it and I was like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
But 8th grade, I joined choir. They made an all guys choir at my middle school. That was the first year they were doing it, and the teacher came up to me and she was like asking if I was like, I was just popular in school all throughout. So like, she came up to me and asked me if I would do it just so I could convince a whole bunch of other dudes to do it. And I went and I got 30 other dudes from our school to join this choir just because they were like, oh, I was like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I remember that year I was sitting there and I was like, because I was really good. I played the trumpet and band up until that point, and I was good at it. I was always first chair.
Yeah.
And it was easy. Like, I catch on the instruments real easy, but like singing, I wasn't good at.
Right.
And I wasn't used to not being good at something. So I was like, oh, I really want to hit this hard, and I really want to try it. So when I went to high school, I stopped doing band. I just stuck to chorus. And we had an audition group. I went to Northside. I joined the audition group. That was the first time I did an audition, and I actually made it, and I was like, okay, maybe I can sing a little bit or something.
Okay.
And I did that all 4 years of high school, and then I got the scholarship to go sing at CV, and I've just been working on my voice since then.
Right.
See, a lot of people can say that they sing, but a lot of people can't say that.
They sing well.
Yeah, no, not even just that. It's messing me up. But a lot of people can say that they can sing, but a lot of people can't say that they have a scholarship to do it.
Right.
This feedback is messing me up.
What feedback you getting?
Not feedback, but I feel like I'm. It's all good.
It's
okay.
Are you hearing the fan or the loud?
I feel like I'm I hear myself, but I feel like I have to be like real like this to hear myself.
This is a live broadcast.
Right. But I'm glad we own it.
But being around peers, right, who were equally or maybe even more talented, what's something that you learned from your peers just in, getting that scholarship, being around other singers, other performers? What's something that you learned from your peers?
I learned that like it's a team effort.
Right.
There's no like, if you could be the best singer in the room, but if you singing out and trying to be the sole voice and stuff, because with a choir, it's a team.
David Ruffin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not David Ruffin and the Temptations.
Right.
The Temptations. So it was like, it was just because I've always been around people that could sing way better than me. And so like trying to build up my confidence and stuff and having those people reassure me, that really helped over time, because I was just like, I can't sing. Because I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be like, oh, I can't sing.
So
be like,
were you telling yourself this, or were like other people telling you this too, or was it like people coming up to you saying that you can sing?
It wasn't that I couldn't sing. It was that like middle school through like 10th grade, I really couldn't. Like, it was just bad. I was always flat. I stuck out a little bit, but I was just so like, I want to do this so bad. I was so eager to do it. I was the first person in class all the time. Always being the person that'd be like, y'all, let's quiet down so we can get to the music and stuff. But like, I couldn't sing. So people was not trying to hear that from me. They were like, man, what is he talking about? But later on, when I started to really, really grow my voice, that's when people started listening to me more. But I would still be the worst singer in the room. Yeah. But the people that were so much better than me, they would still be like, oh, you do have a good voice, and like, we could work on it. And if you just sing with more confidence and everything, then we could do it. But that was just a big thing, is just the confidence behind it. Because
they found the potential.
Yeah.
Do you remember that first song that you sung with confidence?
The first song I sung with confidence? Yeah, because I was a bass singer, and no one really sung out but me and this other dude that was singing out, and he got sick, and he was sick for the concert, and I was like, oh Lord, like if I don't sing out, they're not gonna hear this part at all. But like I know how I sound, like I'm not gonna pretend like I've been waiting for this or nothing.
Right.
But it was a song called "Oh Love." It's this it's this choir song, and like
You want to give us a little sneak?
nah, it's good. It's all right. It's all right. Trust me, y'all better without it. Y'all better. But like, we sung that song, and it was so many different parts where the basses are only singing, and so she positioned me right in front of the mic. And this is when it was in high school, so there's at least 200 people in the crowd, and I'm just like, the spotlight on me. I'm sweating. I'm scared. I know the parts are coming up. And so, but when I sung that song and people were coming up to me after the concert, like, oh, we really heard you. You sounded so good and stuff. And I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I got this.
I got the juice now.
I was feeling myself. I was, for real.
Yeah. So like, okay, so tell me a pivotal moment, right, that you feel like really solidified yourself as. What would you consider yourself? Were you just a musician? Would that be a good way to generalize it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what was a pivotal moment, right, early on that you felt like, other than this situation right here with the singing out loud, that you felt like really made you feel like you could do this as a profession, right? Because at this point we're still in high school. Yeah. Right. So what was a pivotal moment that you felt like I can do this as a profession? I can get paid for this.
Oh, okay. So my senior year. Well, okay. So I went. Yeah, during COVID, it was that summer going into my senior year. Right. And me and my friends would just come to my house. I had the piano actually in there. I just have it for design. It worked, but it's bad. But we would just sit there and like make little songs on the piano and like sing and freestyle and do all types of stuff. And I was just like, oh, this is a fun thing to do. This is a fun activity. So I just started buying equipment, just little cheap things, watching YouTube videos, like what should I get for this? And so I just started buying stuff. And then I realized like halfway through the summer, I don't want to do music. It was fun while it lasted for a month or two with my friends, but I was like, this is not it for me. But then I just had all this equipment. Right. And my brother and his friend come over to the house. It was the day before my 19th birthday. They came over to the house, and they were like, oh, you got all this equipment. Like, let's record some. And I'm like, okay. And I've been watching videos on how to mix and stuff because I'm like, I didn't want to waste the equipment. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to use this. And so they start recording, and my brother, he's something for real. He can rap. Yeah. But him and his friend come in, they start rapping, and I'm like, oh my, like they something serious. So I sat there and I mixed this stuff and I sent it back to them. They're like, oh, we gotta start telling people. So they started telling people about me, and then people are calling me, texting me, trying to come to my house to record, and I'm like, okay, y'all can pull up, and then more and more people started coming. I'm like, I don't even know half these people in my house right now. Yeah. But they paying me. Now at the time I was only charging like $40 an hour.
Describe that feeling though. Like describe the feeling of getting, paid for something like a skill like that.
It felt good because I was just like, at the time I was working at Chipotle. Yeah. And I ain't had no other responsibilities. I ain't have no car payments. My mom paid for everything. I was still in school. So I'm just like, I was just like, this is fun. That's all I thought of it. But I was going through a real tough time through my life because I lost a lot of friends, and I got a really long relationship, and everything about it messed me up. And I took that time to really get closer to God, and in that relationship with God, because I felt like I didn't have a purpose and I felt alone. And so that whole time I was just sitting there praying. I'm like, God, give me something to look forward to. Like, give me a reason for being here because you want me here. Right. And that's when all that stuff just started picking up. It was like, as soon as I prayed that prayer, it just like one person calling me, another person calling me. So I'm like, maybe this is my purpose. Like, I prayed for a purpose, and people are just hitting my phone. Hey, can I record? I'm getting invited to stuff. And so in a month, I made $2,000 first month of people just coming through my room. And I was like, okay.
$2,000 from the room.
From the room.
And you had just graduated, so you're around like 19 at the time.
Yeah, I was 19.
Crazy.
Chipotle not cutting $2,000 checks.
I was like, and I'm not trying to be at Chipotle for the rest of my life. So I was like, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna see where this takes me. And so I did it for about a month. month and a half, and then I came here. This used to be another studio.
Yeah.
And I came here, and I was like, I just made $2,000 from my room. I wanted to see like how actual studios ran because I want to keep doing this. And they were like, you could be an intern and stuff. And so they just let me sit in on sessions. I didn't really get to do hands-on stuff. But what I did was like, I would talk to artists that would come in and be like, hey, I made this beat. You want to use this for your song and this stuff? So I started selling people beats. I started, if an artist wasn't happy with the product they was doing here, then I'd be like, come on, I got you. Yeah.
Oh man, dirty macking on
I was.
Engineers is crazy.
I was. I'm not gonna lie. If they didn't like a mix, I was like, come on.
Yeah,
I got you. I'm like, I'll mix it for free, and if you like it, then start recording for me. And so like, I started getting people to come record with me more through the studio, and that summer I was making crazy. I don't even remember, but I was eating 3 times a day out. Yeah. So I knew that's why I was like, yeah.
So who instilled that in you to be able to network?
My dad. He's the most outgoing person I know.
Yeah.
Every time we go somewhere, he quick to talk to somebody. He ain't afraid to ask questions. He could be a little rude sometimes, but like even still, I'd be like, man, he if he wants something, he gonna go get it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so seeing that growing up, I was just like, I wanted it. I've always, when I was younger, I was very introverted. And so like something like this, if I told my 11-year-old self that I'd be doing something like this, he was like, no, we not.
Right.
I thought I was gonna be an engineer.
Right.
I mean,
you are.
Yeah,
it sounds
crazy. It's crazy.
So
go ahead.
The chemistry is there, man.
All right. So I mean, okay. So at that time, you're only charging $40, right?
Yeah.
$40 per session. So when did you figure out what your worth was, where you felt like, okay, I can up this price because my skill level warrants that? Or are you still charging $4 an hour?
I charge $50 an hour.
$50 an hour. Okay. So
but
what was that switch?
I went down on price because when I was at my house before I moved in here, I was charging $55 if you were doing more than 2 hours, but $60 if you were doing just an hour.
Got it.
But I moved down just because I was opening up and trying to get more people in the door.
Right.
But I started to move up because how many people started sending me their songs to be mixed, and they would be like, "Oh, my engineer I didn't like the way he did this, and like he didn't really listen to me and stuff, and like, or he didn't take the time to really hear what I was saying."
Right.
And it's not like, I'm not saying it was from the old studio. I don't want them to be thinking like I'm just dropping one on them, but just from all around, people texting me from out of state and stuff and sending me stuff. And so because I really care about your music. Like if you're gonna come and record something, because I know how it feels when I make something.
Right.
Because I don't make music to put out or nothing, but I make beats. And if I make I used to sell my lyrics too when I was making beats. So I would like write a verse to every beat I made, and I'm like, if you like the beat, if you like this verse too, you can have it for this price. Hold
on.
That's a I'm gonna speak on that just a little bit because that's something that a lot of people don't realize is a real thing. And like what that is even if you're not writing the verse, if you made the beat and then you sell it with the hook, right? That's what you see it more on. You see people, you see the producers write a hook for it.
Yep.
And really what it is when I made the beat, this was the feeling that I felt when I made it. So you wrote the hook to go along with that feeling, to drive the direction of the song. So that way people don't get the beat and they make some shit and he's like, that's not even what my vision for it was.
But a lot of times too is dealing with publishing.
And then that too.
You know what I'm saying? So were you privy to that? Like
I didn't care
already
about it.
knew, or
when I was starting off, I didn't know about it and I didn't really care. I was just like, if every time I go to the studio, I'm getting $50, $60 off a beat and then 60, 70 from a verse that I threw on it, then I don't care about no publishing.
Yeah.
I was like, and plus a lot of the people that were buying this stuff, it was like not people that were like famous or nothing. So I'm like, I don't expect this song to blow up or like them to market it the right way. And for me to be like, oh wait, that's my song, I need this and that, and I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, quick little check.
So when did you start that though? Like what was the age or whatever to make you figure out?
Not too far removed from the age, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was just later that year. I was just like sitting there because I started going to like shows and stuff.
Yeah.
and meeting people and having them come over, and I was starting to manage my brother and his friend. My brother is, if you want to look for him on streaming platforms, his name's Cartel Wild on streaming platforms, and his friend is like KP, and both of them boys they really get to it. But with them trying to get them shows, and then I met Serena, and we were just in my room, and I was like, we could really do something. Like, y'all are way too talented for your music not to be heard. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I realized like some people are good at just one part, and that's why there's different jobs. Like, I don't think an artist should have to do everything themselves. Right. They should have a team of people, especially when they're that talented. And so I'm like, I'm willing, because I'm not trying to be an artist. But I enjoy being a part of the process. Right. And so I did all the research. I talked to lawyers. I talked to people that are that work at big labels and stuff, and just pick their brain about how things work so that I could understand it better and get a hang of it, because I wanted to do it too. I was like, there's too many talented people in Columbus and just this area in general that are not getting the recognition they need because they don't know how to put themselves out there.
So as you are doing your research, what was the one thing that stuck out to you that was a gem that you could, an artist that's just now starting out could use?
Well, one of the main roadblocks I hit was beats. Is like buying your beats, because a lot of people just like take it
off YouTube.
Yeah, steal it off YouTube,
right?
Which is
which is not fine. Don't say that, Justin.
Which is
he's a producer.
Don't say that, Justin.
Which, if you just gonna record and like 20 people gonna hear it,
it's still not fine.
Who cares?
It's still not fine.
But like it don't take nothing to spend $30 on BeatStars to get this beat, because like if you really want to take
what's BeatStars?
BeatStars is the platform where producers can post their beats on, and you could just go on, listen through, click through, and you could buy beats for. Some people have their beats up there for $5-10 that you could lease it for.
True statement.
And so you don't even have to. You don't have to steal no beats. You could just get if you got $5, if you got $50 to record, you got $5 to get that beat. It's just the support in everybody, because everybody is trying to do this and enjoy this and do this for a living. And so it's just trying to build a community in that. I didn't know you produced. We don't have to talk about that.
Disclaimer.
Bro, it's a
for the producers out there, I do not recommend you sell your beats for $5.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Lord, you just saying you done seen.
Yeah, I've seen free for profit beats on YouTube that ride so hard, which is crazy.
Shameful. Shameful. Who taught these young lads this?
You don't need to. You don't need to.
Bad business that a lot of producers are out here doing.
Yeah,
it's because they don't know any better.
Yeah, and that's what I noticed, is because it's like a lot of us just don't know better. It's just like this is fun, and it's like when something's fun and you are good at it, it sucks to try to do the stuff that is not fun. The back end, the paperwork, and trying to make sure you got the rights to your stuff, the publishing, making sure that you're not, the beat that you bought is not going to get copyrighted because they used the sample they weren't supposed to, and all that back end stuff. You a musician, you hear a beat you think is good, you put your verse, you sing on it, like it should be just that, but it's not. And that's why that's where I was just like, oh, I could really help people out because I do understand it. It comes like I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. What was the song and album that made you fall in love with music?
Just any Michael Jackson thing. My dad had me listening to Michael Jackson.
So Off the Wall or Thriller?
Off the Wall is my favorite Michael Jackson.
I respect it.
Favorite. It's not even close. It's not even close. Off the Wall, the title track, Off the Wall.
Yeah.
I still listen to it. Me and my cousin, I have a younger cousin. She about turned 14 in like 2 days. She growing up crazy fast. It's weird. But I take her to school in the mornings, and she always want to hear Michael Jackson. So I feel like I'm like giving her a gift because that was like me growing up. Like, oh, put the Michael Jackson on. Put the Michael Jackson on.
Right.
And so it's always those car rides are fun because we sitting there singing those songs, and
that's hard, man. Michael really got real impact out here.
Real impact
on the youth still.
And they be comparing him to,
man, I don't want to hear none of that.
They be comparing him to
Drake.
people. See, I wasn't even gonna say it.
I'm gonna say it because that was that little disrespectful run they had for about 2 months. Oh, Drake out hitting Michael Jackson is not this. Come on.
And the Beatles.
It's Michael Jackson.
Right. They always shitting on the Beatles.
Yeah, they're not in the conversation.
Ain't a chance to get one. They were like, fuck Abbey Road.
Every chance. Oh, they just broke the Beatles record.
Yeah, man. They hate the Beatles, but
What was when did you realize that you wanted to own a studio?
Oh, that was just a leap of faith. I was trying to start my business. So I was like, I want to do an entertainment company.
Okay.
I started praying a lot about it, and I was like, I don't know what way to go with it.
Right.
And then I started meeting these people that had labels, on independent labels, and I'm like, I felt like I could do more with the label than I could just with an entertainment.
Who were you meeting to spark that idea?
It was a couple of these, just some old dudes in Atlanta. I like to talk to random people. I don't ask names too much. I'm just like sitting there. This dude I met while I was fishing. I'm out in the woods with it. I be camping. I be fishing, and we were sitting there. I ain't asked his name the whole time. We sat there, had a 40-minute long conversation.
right.
And he was telling me about how he worked for RCA, and that he was just talking about music. I didn't even tell him I like music or none of that. I was just like, yeah, I enjoy fishing. And he was
Right.
like, yeah, I work at RCA Records, and I've been there for 60 years, and this and that. And so I just started asking him questions. And my dad knows some people that have gotten deals. Like, we have people in my family that have gotten record deals. And so it's just like they know a lot of the industry. So I've talked to them, and they've like given me a whole bunch of lists of what not to do, because they're not super famous, and that's why they telling me that every time I ask a question, it's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And so that's, as far as mentorship, that's where I get it from, just family members that tried it and either kind of made a name for themselves for like a year or two, or just didn't, but have experienced it all.
Yeah. So, in running a label, right, one of the biggest things that you have to do is find talent.
Yeah.
Right. So, how do you go about distinguishing between someone that's talented and someone that's a passing trend?
That's a good one.
It's how the music make you feel. Because I listen to a lot of music just in general. I listen to everything someone sent me as a recommendation. But when it comes to finding people, I'm always looking for people that are that love their music more than they love, like, they love making the music more than their fans. Like, if you're your biggest fan, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because those people are truly passionate. Those are people that are calling me at 3 a.m.
Right.
I had one dude, he would call me 3 a.m. religiously. Oh, I came up with this song idea. Listen to this. Listen to this. Just because he was having fun and he enjoyed it. And so it's like, if you come in with that attitude, like, oh, I'm just here to, like, I'm trying to make a quick check off this money, this music stuff, then I'm gonna be like, okay, like, but if money's your main focus in your music career, then you probably don't have
a music career.
Yeah, like you're never gonna find fulfillment in it. Because if you're chasing money, no matter what you do, you're just going to be chasing money. You're not going to enjoy what you're actually doing. But for the people that enjoy it, it's like, I need to do this. Yeah. Those are the people that stick out.
Is it a gray area, though? Is it a gray area in that? Because at the end of the day, you have a business to make money. And sometimes the trends can be profitable. So is there a gray line in that?
It just depends on what kind of music they're putting out. Yeah. Like, if it's only, I'm not going to sign anybody or like really work with anybody that's only going to go on TikTok for about 3 months. That's just a waste of time and money for both of us. But if you're someone that, like, there's trends that have lasted like decades.
True.
And it's like usually with pop music, the type of music that you hear on the radio and constantly, it's like most of that doesn't change that much over a 6 to 7 year span. Mm-hmm. You're going to hear the same people, and then it's like once they get tired of playing those people, they're just going to play clones of those people and clones of those people. And so I'm looking for, it's usually, if I'm hopping on a trend, it's something that's already been trending for 10 plus years, and at this point
it's not even a trend.
It's a mainstay at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if it's something that's only going to get you off on TikTok, then it's not. and you sound like everybody else. It's like I could go grab anybody. Like, what makes you? That's why it's harder as a rapper to get on than it is as a singer or a band or just.
Let's get into
bite my
it.
tongue on that one.
No, that's why you're here, so you can talk on it.
Right.
Break it down. Why?
Let's get into it. Shout out to Anna.
Yeah, man.
What was it? Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. The Christmas party that you had.
Yeah.
Ugly Sweater.
Mm.
You had an artist by the name of Timothy Rose.
Yeah.
Shout out.
How did y'all link up?
At school. He came to school one day, and he was like, he came to school the year before, and then he was only there for like a week or so, and then he stopped going to school because he had some stuff going on in his family. But then he came back, and it was like the first day he came back, we just sat down and we were talking about everything, catching each other up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat down and played the piano for me, and he was just singing his songs, and I'm like, who are you? Like, and like how passionate he was and the emotion. It was like it didn't matter if it was just me in the room or like if it's just him. He sung all his songs with like as if he was singing to thousands and thousands of people.
Right.
Like he felt every word he sung. It was never like I'm just gonna make this because it's sounds cool. Like every song he sung was strong. So I was like, you need to get out here. Like you need to be in front of people because he's been doing like TikTok stuff. But I was like, I need you to start performing out here and like working on stuff. So we spent 2 months in here working on his EP. His EP is out. It's called What a Year. And
You recorded that?
Yeah, I recorded it here.
Hey man, correct it?
Yeah.
You doing your stuff, man.
Yeah, because as soon as I heard him, I was like, I got a studio and I need you to get in there ASAP. Like we need to work on this stuff because you got great songs and people need to hear them. So we worked on that. I got him a couple of shows. And he's still out here doing shows now.
Yeah, because you had, it was you that had him at Blue Canary, correct?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So how do you go about when you have these acts or you have these artists, right? And you have kind of fostered this relationship, and now it's to the point to where we have to put you in front of people, right? Because we have to let the fans decide whether or not this is good or not. How do you go about picking the venue for your artists, and does that matter?
It just depends on like who I'm talking to that week,
right?
Because I know a lot of people here that own venues and stuff, and it's like it's just based on what venue will fit their vibe the best.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't take, like they started doing the living room again. That's a pretty dope spot. I like that. But
Benji, right?
Yeah,
Shout out to Benji.
Yeah, I mess with him a lot. And they got the Getch's house. I've been doing some stuff for the Getch's house, and it's like just knowing the crowds and stuff. Yeah. Because I had Luna and Gappy there a couple of Sundays ago doing a brunch, but they normally have like really upscale dinners at nighttime, and like they'll have like an artist come in and like play the piano and stuff and play the guitar, and those are like the upscale rich white people. So they're not trying to hear my brother or his homeboys coming in there. They're not going. I wouldn't be like, hey, they can come in and do something for 3 hours. They're not gonna want to hear rap.
Yeah.
They already told me. So it's like just knowing the audience, where to take them and like where it's going to stick at, because I would rather put them at somewhere like Purge Nation's closed down now, but it's like Purge Nation was a good spot, and like rather take them to the Purge Nation where they will be appreciated than somewhere where it's just like, oh, just because it's fancy. Yeah. Or it's going to make you slightly more money on this show. I'm not going to put you there if it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay, so you got Timothy Rose. You dropped the project. How was the process of dropping the project, and who do you go through as distribution?
I use DistroKid, and just the process was pretty easy because like I had them out, like I got them doing No Shame at the Springer, and I had them at some other places. So just going place to place and having these, and when you make good music, people are gonna listen. You just have to get that music to the people. And so I noticed, like, he's a really good live performer. So I was like, okay, then we got to get you doing live performances. So we were getting in front of people. And then so it started spreading really quickly. that is like, oh, this guy. And so when we first, after every show, people were coming up like, where can I get this? Where can I get this? You have a CD, you got it out. And we were just like, every week, we were just like, we'll perform somewhere, be like, it's coming out this date, it's coming out this date. And so people were pre-saving it. And we already built up an audience. And so once the first day, it did like 200 streams. And then for the first week, I think it was 1,000. But like when the algorithm picks up that you got that much traction that quickly, it's going to do its promotion for you. There's other ways to promote, but like if you are getting yourself out there and having those people waiting on your music, it's going to pick that song up and put it in more people's face.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like that's a winning formula? Because I've had conversations with other people who do music and promote artists, and they would say that would be they would speak against that, saying that you should have the music already available by the time you perform it, because that way when they ask you, hey, where can I find this, it's not, hey, it's coming out, stay tuned. Yeah, you know what I mean. So do you think that's the way you're doing it is a winning model? Or
in his case, it was because we were doing the same venues consistently, so it was the same audience. People. They were just
like building a community.
Yeah, so they were waiting on it. So it's like we weren't going from here and then being like, okay, let's drive down to Atlanta and be like, okay, guys, in a month y'all can hear the real thing. They're going to forget about you by then.
Okay,
and so it's good to build around you, because like you're going to find a lot of people that enjoy music here or just in your area, wherever you are, and you can build your community here and spread out that way. But it's all dependent. I don't think there's a true winning formula. I don't think there's something you can write down and be like, if you follow these steps, those YouTube videos kill me. Because it's all about who you know. So
5 steps to get famous right now.
What's the one song that y'all recorded that went performance wise?
Common Sense. Everybody loves Common Sense. Tie Your Shoes is a popular one on there. One of my favorites is Nowhere Train. That's my personal favorite. On TikTok, there's one called Brainfall. That one did some numbers. That was pretty good. But those are the main ones that really stuck with people.
Okay, so you have Timothy now, Timothy Rose, and you also work with or signed another Rose.
Yeah, Luna
Rose.
Yeah,
it's a trend here, huh?
Shout out to FGP alumni.
Yep.
How was that, and where did you find Luna?
I was at Purge Nation one night, and I met Connie. And
shout out to Connie.
Yeah, shout out Connie.
Yeah,
because I just was passing by one day. I was like, this is a dope spot. And before they bought it, when I was looking for places for a studio, I was like, it would be real cool if I had a studio here and then have this outside performance venue. So when I saw they got it, I was like, I want to talk to the owners and see what they got going on. And they put me in contact with Connie, and we sit there and talked, and I met up with them. And I came out to the first show that they had back in like October or something. And Luna was there. She didn't perform, but she was there. And one of my friends I was with at the time, she was like, oh, that's Luna. You would like her music. She's really cool, this and that. And I was like, okay, I'll go up and talk to her later. And as soon as I said that, Luna just turns and walks towards us because she recognized my friend. And we just had a whole conversation. And I was like, well, come to the studio in a couple of days. We could like record something and see where it goes from there. And I mean, she just came in the booth and just first song, one taked it. It was crazy. She brought one of her friends that does photography. Shout out Josie. She need to come back. She been all around the U.S. doing stuff, but she brought her in here. She sitting there taking pictures, videos. She in there just going crazy. One take it, did her ad-libs, and it was done. Yeah. One of the best songs I've heard. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was like, yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew when I had the first conversation with her that I was like, I gotta work with this girl. This is it could be something great.
I told you when I first met you, you got some stars.
For real.
Like no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a real thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like I need for you to like understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause seeing Timothy and we rock with Luna anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So that's she's up in the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
But like, bro, you got something special.
Yeah.
You do, bro. You said that earlier that you had some bands as well.
Yeah, I have the Review. I'm managing the band, the Review.
Mm-hmm.
They're working on an album now, and
What kind of band?
they're a punk rock. I feel
Okay.
like that's the best descriptor for that. But they're pretty good. They played some big venues here in Atlanta, and they're real good for just meeting you where you're at. They got someone that's we just went to Kentucky last January. They just called me and they're like, yeah, we got a show in Kentucky. So we got all hopped in the van and drove up to Kentucky for a show. And right now I'm planning their tour for the summer. They're gonna be on tour for 2 months, just from here all the way around the US and back.
That's fire.
That's crazy.
So what's the steps of putting together a tour?
Man, I just make it seem easy. It's not. But we just sat down like 2 hours. We wasn't even serious the whole time, just playing around. We picked dates. We were like, okay, from this time to this time, this is the time frame we're shooting for to be gone. And these are the states we want to hit. We thought about a route that would be like that not only just made sense for traveling wise, but like places that they've played before and places in between those places. So it was like we had places that we could go ahead and call and say, hey, on this date and at this time we want to be there. Mm-hmm. And so just putting that together, and we're trying to get this just to get their name out there more, just to spread them out, because they love it. They love it.
Like a promo run.
Yeah.
So is it okay? So you mentioned them playing in places or states they've already played before. Mm-hmm. Okay, what about those markets that maybe you haven't hit? How did you go about arranging that with a venue?
Well, you would just call you asked for the sauce for it. All right, but you
give it up. I asked you earlier. Did you have your bag full of gems?
I do. I got it. I got it.
Give it up. Don't hold back.
But as far as just finding a venue and stuff, you could go to the venue Instagram. See, I do a little background search. Like if it's a big venue, then you could find a number on Google and then look and try to. You just have to keep making phone calls. Try to be as professional as you. Can't be talking crazy the whole time. Like you got to be like, hey, this is so and so, and I'm managing this, or I'm a part of this band. We're doing this. You just have to be very straight to the point, because a lot of people, they're busy. They own these big places and they got a lot going on. So you got to be very straight to the point. For a while, emailing was very effective. Emailing is still effective, but if it's a bigger place, they're probably not going to see it. It's going to get buried really quickly. And so just trying to call. And if they close by, just go. I encourage everybody just to be in someone's face, because my dad put that in me when I was younger, that if you want something done, just go get it done. Don't be calling, don't be texting nobody, go be in their face. And so that's how I am. That's how I like to go. So if you between here and Florida, and I need something from you, I'm going to drive and say, hey, I'm Justin Fields and this is what I'm about.
Right.
And people remember your face better than they remember a phone call. You get
true statement.
How many phone calls you get a day, and then how many you don't answer.
Oh yeah.
I ain't on my phone all the time.
That's a gem.
Yeah, big gem.
Especially if you just a phone number. I'm not answering them.
Right.
That's facts.
So just being in people's face as much as you can, because that's what, even if you're annoying, they're gonna be like, hey, that's that annoying kid, but he love it, he's passionate about it. So just getting out there, getting yourself out there, but calling, going out there as much as you can. People are willing to help if you show that you really care and that you're serious about what you're doing.
Right.
What was management always the goal?
Nah, it was just like, that's how it started, and I still I'm gonna continue managing people, and I know I will continue forward as I build my team and stuff. But the goal, my thing is like, I just want to be able to build a business that helps you take the weight off your back, so that you can focus on just making the music. And so like, when I started like going and talking to these people, I'm like, okay, this is something I'm good at. Like I know how to talk to these people and how to relate. And so I really gravitate towards it, because it's just something I'm good at. So when I just had a moment, spaced out for a second.
Good, bro.
But yeah, eventually I just want to be I just want to oversee everything. But for now, right now, I love it.
CEO in it.
Yeah.
How do you go about? What is the difference to you between managing and signing an act, or signing a band, or signing an artist, or managing an artist, managing a band? What's the difference to you?
How much money I'm paying towards their stuff. Because if I sign you, then the agreement is that I pay for most of your expenses when it comes to music for a majority of for the ownership of the music and the majority of the profit that comes from it. And so, but it's an investment on my part.
So that would include what? That would include what? Production, studio time?
All that. Yeah.
Got it.
So it's like, because even with managing, like if I'm managing an artist or a band, they could come in here. Like that's a part of it. I'll let you record for free. But it's like when we drove up to Kentucky, it was so much money spent because we were having problems with the van and all the other random stuff that just got, and I didn't have to pay for those expenses versus like if it was, okay, this is a label thing and we have to go here and we have to drive all the way to Kentucky and the van breaking down and now I had to fix it 2 different times and I'm paying $3,000-$4,000 on that trip, then that's coming straight out my pocket and that has nothing to do with the artist. The artist is just there for the ride.
Because you're the label.
Yeah. So the label is pretty much the bank.
Right.
And it's all investment. It's all about investment.
Where did your business mind come from?
Oh no. I guess my dad.
Is your dad an entrepreneur?
He's he has a trucking business. He started a trucking business, but he's always just always been trying to just get it. Like he's always been a grinder, hustler. Like he doesn't sit still. He's at a point where he doesn't have to do stuff, but like he'll still if you feel like you're not doing nothing, it don't sit right with him. You get up, DoorDash, clean, do whatever, and I'm like, you got it. Like you don't gotta do all this stuff, but he feels like it. Yeah, and it's in me too. Like I pause, but.
Yeah, wow.
I know you fucking lying.
But yeah, it just don't feel right to sit and do nothing. I can't sit with myself. I feel like I gotta get up and do something. So a lot of people are always like, "Oh, Justin, you doing too much," but I feel like I'm never doing enough because there's always more that you can be doing. Yeah. And of course, you need your rest. I do take trust me. You ask Luna, you guys, I'm gonna take my day or two to sit down and be me, but if I enjoy it and I love it like I do, then I'm gonna go and get it. And that's how I tell with other people too, if they really want to work with me and stuff and just work in general. It's like how much are you putting towards this yourself? Right.
Because who hustles out of all your artists, who hustles like you?
I have to say Serena. Y'all got it. She goes by Souls the Singer.
So she's your artist as well.
Yeah.
So how did you meet her?
At a show.
Okay.
She at when the studio was JLC Entertainment, they used to do shows and stuff, and they'll do like a competition for a show. It's like best act. We get money by
showcase. Yeah.
And so she won, and I was just like sitting there. I'm like, this girl is great. Like I was biased because my brother was in it, and I was like, he should have won. But I went up there and I talked to her, and she started coming over and recording with me, and we started hanging out and stuff. And I was like, oh man, like she really needs to be in for, cause her voice is insane. She be in here playing around sometimes, and I'm just like in awe, just crazy. She has a crazy voice and she can out rap everybody, out sing everybody. I'm like, she just does it. She just does it. She's a performer. So but her, it's like she is just so talented and she's so hungry for it. She always working like 2 jobs, but every time I call her, she like, oh, I'm in Atlanta doing this show, or this weekend I'm doing this, and she's sending me a list of shows, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be sending you a list of shows for you to do. And so I try to help her as much as I can, but she
self-sufficient.
Yeah, very much.
Right. But I think that's a great thing though, because you don't have to. I mean, of course you want to be there to work to help, but when an artist they can get it done themselves, and you can not pretty much, but invest and then know that your money gonna come back.
Yeah, right. And then I can focus on stuff like talking to people on their behalf. It's like, because now I'm not like stressing about, oh, I need to get you this show and you need to be here, and worried about what she's doing. Because I've had artists that I've worked with where it's just like they don't have their stuff together, and it's like, why am I calling to figure out where you at when your session was supposed to be at this time? What you got going on? What you doing over here? Where your money going to? Because like when I'm involved with artists, I'm involved with their life, because it's, if you're trying to make this your life, you have to live like you want to do this. And so it's like, if I see like, oh, okay, you just spent $300 on weed, but you got a kid and you need gas, and you texting me asking me for gas money and stuff like that, then that upsets me, because I'm like, I can't just give you money every time you need help with something when you putting yourself in this position. I'm not going to keep bailing you out. And you know, so.
Well, I was gonna say, how much do you put that on you though? Because these are your artists. I don't know if these are just like random scenarios you just thought of.
No, these are.
Or okay,
this is stuff that I went through, but it's like, it was like, especially during the trial and error phase, where it was just like I'm meeting people and like not knowing exactly, like still learning myself. And so like when I got to that point, I'm like, okay, yeah, I have limitations, because it's like you could be one of the best rappers, singers, bands I've heard, but it's like, if you don't know how to carry yourself in appropriate situations, I can't work with you, because you making my job way harder than it need to be. Yeah. And you're not making the money that is required to make my job this hard.
Right. So, well, like, how did you go about screening the artist now? Because now, what it sounds like you had to do is put in place a screening where it's like, look, I got to make sure that you even halfway decent before you even, you know.
Well, I could tell about, like, I just sit down and have like an honest conversation with them, and like what they're wanting from me, what they see in their future, and what they want musically and stuff. And it's like, we can sit there and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna ask hard questions about like just your life, and I want to get to know who you are as a person, not just as an artist, not this person this character you're trying to portray. Because it's like, you could be that person to other people, but I need to know where your mind really is.
Right.
And so it's just like, I want to see it. Like, rarely ever am I'm like, oh, I have to work with this artist now. It's like, I don't care how good they are. It's like, I'm like, oh, you want a free session? That's how I started. I'm like, I want to see how they act in the studio. And then like, I might, if we do a free session, I'm like, okay, this is a free session. You go right downtown, get some lunch, pay for their lunch and stuff, and sit and talk to them, and just see how they interact with people, and how they interact with other artists too is important. Right. Because it's a family.
So who's all on the label?
So actually right now, at the moment, nobody is signed. I'm building up people right now to get to the point where it's like May, we're gonna I'm just gonna sign everybody that I have down. I can't disclose everybody that's getting signed in May. But I have a list of people that I want to sign in May, and I'm gonna sign them May 1st, and the whole month of May we're gonna work on a studio album where everybody's on the project and working together on it.
Okay, like a compilation.
Yeah,
got it.
Told you, brother, that chemistry.
Hell yeah. That's what it takes, man. When you've been doing it this long, better be some chemistry somewhere. or we got a problem.
For sure.
Right.
For sure. So, will there be like advances and all of that? Oh, so you really doing it.
Yeah.
You ain't playing no games.
No games. Because my goal is not just I don't want to just be another just like startup and something that dies up in 5-6 years. Like, I want to. And I don't want to just be another independent label, even if I get to a point where I'm considered a major independent label, where like I'm functioning as a major label, but we're still considered independent because we didn't go to the S Corp level. But I want to get to that point where this is a corporate business. Right. Like, I don't want it to just stay here. Like, I want this to be a thing that I could give to my kids if they want to do this too, or whoever. I want to leave a legacy.
Who's your favorite? What's your favorite mainstream label, and what's your favorite indie label?
My favorite mainstream,
and why?
Okay. My favorite mainstream is Atlantic, just because I like how they promote their stuff. Because a lot of things I see on a lot of artists that you see on TikTok that are just like, oh, I hate my label because they said I have to fake a viral moment to drop this song. Let's get back at my label by like making this song go promo. I'm gonna drop it anyways. That's the viral moment that they're faking.
Right.
But it's like, it's a room full of people being like, hey, let's make it, because the whole thing right now is like all labels are bad. They're trying to steal your money and all this stuff. So Atlantic is doing a really good job at using that to flip it around. Mm-hmm. Universal Music Group is the biggest label, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff they do, but like they work really well. But as independent, there's this label called Other Record Labels, and I like them so much because their whole label is based on making helping you build your label.
Right.
And so they do a lot of interviews where they have a podcast and they sit and they interview other independent labels and talk about what works and what doesn't, and like their experiences doing stuff. So I follow them very closely.
Other record label.
It's called Other Record Labels.
Okay. Who runs that?
It's this dude named Scott. I forgot his last name, but you look it up on YouTube. He has a lot of insightful things about just promotion and everything. It's good to watch as an artist too, if you're trying to truly do it your own way and have the time to do it. That's a good channel to follow.
So what don't work?
What don't work?
What doesn't work that you went in and you thought that it was going to, and it just doesn't, and you tried it over again just to see if it didn't work the second time, and it doesn't work.
Well, for me right now, that doesn't work. Is I using marketing agencies for promotion. Certain ones, like if they're trying to give you like a cheap little deal, to be like, hey, like I could get you a song. Don't use anything that like I could get you on all these playlists on Spotify if you pay this amount of money. Don't do that. I haven't even done it. I know people that have done it and they've just been out of money, had a whole bunch of bots, got their Spotify shut down. It's not worth it. There are marketing agencies though that they're gonna come with a price tag, but they will get you out there. But it's just focusing on that.
Don't trust none of them.
honestly.
Look, if Justin told you to trust it, it came from Justin's mouth.
Yeah. If it ask me personally, gotta be ask me personally. But there's and those are exclusive. They reach out to you like you're not gonna be able to just find them off of Google search. These are they're gonna see that you've gotten so far, and they work like labels, marketing agencies and labels. If you want to get noticed by those kind of people, you have to do the legwork yourself, because they want to see how we're in an age where we could do so much by ourselves that it's no longer like labels are like, oh, let me go. They're not like hearing someone hum in the grocery store anymore and being like, yeah, let's sign this person. They have a really great voice. They want to see how much traction you can build on your own. They want to see how they're looking at your followers. If your followers are real, if you're keeping a consistent amount of monthly streams, if you're posting videos, if you're putting music out constantly, they're looking at all of that, because a lot of people, hate to y'all, but y'all need to stop go on Instagram, bot your accounts, have 20, 30,000 followers, but if you only getting 34 likes, that's a very clear indication that you don't got the followers you say you got.
We run into that.
Yeah.
We definitely run into that. Like, it's been times when, people either want to come on the show or even been on the show and they had like high count followers, but you go down to their stuff. I mean their posts. Yeah. And it doesn't match.
Yeah. It doesn't. And even if some people, I have found that it will match, but it's like even if you look at their likes, it's like accounts from Russia with like 0 followers.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you another one. Is my big thing now, and I don't know if you ever noticed it dealing with it, but is what I like to do is I like to look at their Instagram and then I'll go to their YouTube.
Yeah.
And if it don't match, that's a red flag to me. And a lot of these podcasts and artists try to like charge people, but your stuff don't add. It's not converting. Yeah. What's your conversion rate? Can you get people to click that link in that bio?
And see, a lot of people don't even that be talking and be having all these followers don't know what a conversion rate is.
Like, come on, dog.
Right. But yeah, that's a big thing that people look at.
Because it's not real.
It's not real, and it makes you look like a clown. Like, you don't look serious at all about your stuff, because like anybody can pay $20 on one of these little apps from the App Store to get a whole bunch of followers. But if no one listening to your music, what's the point?
Right.
Like, who are you posting these videos for? It's just the same people.
So how do you get your artists to realize like, yo, social media is a great tool, but it's not like what you really want is the human interaction and impact. How do you get them to like not fall into that social media realm and get depressed about it?
Just showing them how much money you can make from shows in person. It's like you bring 10 CDs. If you have a good show, I buy CDs from shows that I go to because I do sound for different places, and I buy shows CDs from bands, and I don't even got a CD player. But it's like, this was a really good show, and I really like this band, so I'm going to buy the CD just to support. People are willing just to pay just to support. People buy T-shirts all the time. Yep. I got a couple T-shirts that I've only wore one time, but it's a cool T-shirt, and I was like, man, this is a good dude, good T-shirt, so I bought it. And there's just so much money to be made actually going out. People try to make up this person online, but it's like, people need to see you. That's why like having shows is so important.
Yeah.
Even that, like I would even say, if you're gonna use social media as your tool to market you, then it can't be the days of posting a still shot and the beats just playing.
Yeah.
It can't be that.
I hate that. I hate that with the audio file screenshot.
It can't be the audio file screenshot anymore. In social media, like you said, they want to see you. So if you know that you can't get out in person, at the very least, what you can do is
showcase your personality.
Show you.
Yeah.
Even if there's a guy named Valentine Beats, right? And free promo for you. He does his thing though. He don't need no promo. But one of the things that he do, and even though I may not necessarily agree with how he does it, but the beat is playing, but you can see his face. You know what I mean? You can see him reacting to the music. You can see him reacting to when the beat drops. And even though somebody may look at that as corny, at least we know who this guy is. And at least we can see some of his personality.
Yeah.
You know, versus, like I said, showing that screenshot, the audio file, oh my God, it's crazy.
I skip it every time.
Yeah.
Even if I know you. If I see the audio file, I'm like.
Right. You can't connect with that.
Yeah, because I'm just like, this is just sound to me. Like, there's no story behind this. Like, I can't. That's what people are looking for. Because, like, you can hear songs all day long, but it's like the songs that connect are the ones that stick with you. The songs that you keep going back to. There's sad songs that everybody listens to when they happy, and it makes them happier because they have a story. They are big fans of the artist, and they follow them so closely. So it's just like putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are successful, I see a lot is of them having film of them being at their show and them recording them, drawing that crowd. And it's like, okay, these people are coming out to see him. So I'm going to make that extra effort to tap on the page and scroll through. Or if you have a really good music video, anything. The visuals, anything. If it's a cool little visual, I'm like, okay, this is dope. So you really have to put yourself out there.
Yeah. You got to showcase you.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, this is so dope.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you enjoy yourself. What's a good session look like?
Good session. You send me the beat before the session. So I can already have it loaded up. So we don't have to be like worried about something. Because some people like to come in. It's all on the artist. Because I'm going to have it loaded up. I already have my levels kind of set. So usually people come in. There's some people that come in that like to talk and chill a little bit before they get in the booth and record. And that's fine. I love talking to people. And so this one girl, she pays for 2 hours every time she comes. And she spends the first hour just talking to me. Just to get in the vibe of, she wants to talk about her day, stuff that's going on in her life, just to get that weight off her chest so that she can go in there and give her best product of what she can do. And so it's all about just how much you enjoy it as the artist. Like, that's what I love when people come in here and they love the stuff that they made and what they worked on and come in and just work on it. You could tell, like, and the energy's up. I love those sessions.
Yeah. When it comes to, walk us down to the process of, okay, we got the session, right? Somebody booked 2 hours. They spent the first hour talking to you. The second hour, they went in and they killed it. What does it look like? What's the process, your process of getting that track back out to them to where it's ready to be released and put out to the world? What does that process look like for you?
Yeah, so when as they're doing their stuff, I'm sitting there like I'm doing a rough mix while we're recording.
Got it.
So I go through and I already do like small things to the mix to make it sound like good for them to hear, and like try to get the framework of what they wanted to sound like before they leave, and I can send them home with a rough mix. And an hour later, after they leave, I'll sit here and mix everything, mix, master, and send it back to them so they can have it by the end of the day.
For that artist that just records and doesn't know anything about mixing and mastering, what's the difference?
Oh, it's so different. So when it's just hearing how like just trying to make everything sound cohesive, and it's one thing when you sitting there over your phone and like rapping into what's that one app that everybody using now, BandLab. You can sit there on BandLab all day, but like it's not gonna be the same sound as coming in here in the soundproof room on a couple $100 microphone and getting those levels and everything, because there's a lot that goes in with the EQ and the compression and everything, and just making sure your levels are right to make it sound like what you hear when you listen to your favorite artist. Like if you make a song and you love it and you're proud of it, it should sound like a song. And that's what I do. I make your song sound cohesive so that you could play it in the middle of like a playlist or something, and someone goes, oh, that's you? Like someone shouldn't be able to pick out like, oh, this song sounds different from the rest of the songs. Yeah. So making it sound radio ready and listening ready that people can enjoy it in their own time. And yeah, just getting them right in here. I try to.
Does radio mean anything to you?
It does. Because people were like, oh, so I was talking about a radio station the other day, and someone was like, man, nobody listens to the radio. Yes, they do. And it's good any publicity is good, even if only, first of all, there's hundreds of thousands of people that still listen to the radio.
Right.
I throw on the radio sometimes, but I don't know what to put on. When I'm tired of my playlist, I'll put on the radio. And you get yourself on the radio and get out. It's like, even if your song is played one time or 200 times in a row, people are going, whether they like it or not, they're going to start singing your song.
Yeah.
There's so many annoying songs that have gotten stuck in my head over the years that I've just been like, oh, I hate that song. Why am I still singing this? Why am I singing this? And so it's important just to get yourself out on any medium you can, because you never know who's listening.
Right.
I want to try something different, man. Got to catch you off guard. I want to do something called This or That. Free Jams podcast, man. So, okay, here we go. First one. Cheap microphone with an expensive DAW, or free DAW, such as Audacity, with an expensive mic.
Free DAW with an expensive mic.
Tell me why.
Well, it just depends on your room and setup too, because there's
we ain't say nothing about the room, brother. Answer the question.
Okay, because you can make a lot work.
The room is a regular old bedroom.
Then I'll change that. You could go cheap mic, get you a DAW that is gonna meet all your needs mixing wise. Because if you can figure out how to mix and really put your stuff together right, you can record it off of your phone mic for real. There's some projects out on that are playing now that people have recorded with a Rode mic that hook up into their phone.
Okay.
And so it really just comes down to what you do on the board and that in the mixing stage.
Okay.
But you can get a cheap mic. I started everything with a $90 mic, $99. Audio Technica mic, the AT2020.
Familiar with it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number two. I only got three, brother.
Bro, I'm loving this right now. This is hard.
I only got three. All right. Number two. Here we go. All right. Steady radio play or track blows up on social media?
Track blows up on social media.
Okay. Tell me why.
Because people can hear your songs on the radio, which is great. It's good, but your following, you could market yourself and profit so much off of social media. Once you get a little foundation in the fan base, they'll buy anything from you. If they relate to you as a person and want to support you and feel like they're supporting themselves by buying it, then you can't beat that social media.
Got it. All right, last one, G.
Bro, this is so hard.
What's the better?
Pause.
Wildin'.
I know you fucking lying.
What's the better physical to have when you're an artist? CDs or T-shirts?
Depending on what kind of artist you are.
That's not what I asked you, brother.
Answer
the question.
It's a subjective one. That's all. Because I wouldn't recommend CDs for. You got to know your audience. Like,
okay,
I'm not gonna give you. You're not gonna pop a CD in your car.
You don't know that.
You just said that you buy CDs if
I
you
buy
thought the
CDs.
artist was dope,
Yeah.
even though you don't have a CD player.
Yeah, but
We know an artist right now that sold out of his CDs.
Correct.
yes, but
I have one,
it
and
just
I've
depends.
never played it.
It just depends on the. It just depends
It's a
on the art.
collectible.
It is.
So which one is the better one, man?
Just depend on your audience.
Oh man, you
That's a cop out.
He copping the plea.
It just depends on your audience.
Look, man, this is the
For-
first official episode of this and that, and you trying to cop a plea
All right.
on question 3.
I'm gonna say for if you trying to make more money quickly,
Okay, which is more profitable?
in
in
a
your opinion.
shorter span, you could get CDs off faster.
I wasn't
Okay.
I wasn't expecting you to say that, but
I
I'm
didn't
glad.
Get
either.
CDs off faster.
Okay.
Shirts, you long term, you're gonna make more money selling shirts,
Yeah,
but CDs you can get off faster.
got it. I can
I like
see that.
that.
I can see that. I can
like-
see that.
Is there any questions that you would like to ask us?
Yeah, I want to know how y'all started this.
You go.
I go. All right, so it all started, man. It was a dark afternoon. EJ was texting my phone, probably telling me about how good Hove was and is. And I probably was telling him that Ice Cube is better. And it probably did go something like that. And eventually what ended up happening was, we talk about music often, and it got to the point to where, he asked about starting a podcast. And one of the things that I said was, well, what would we talk about? And he was like, music, just like we always do, just in text message. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm pretty sure the first thing that I did was send the cover art through,
Yeah.
right?
Like immediately.
Like immediately.
No. He asked me to.
Oh, I asked him to sign his name. Because one of the things, I had already kind of had an idea in my mind for a podcast, because me and him both previously, separately, have tried to enter this space before. So one of the things I asked him to do was, sign his name, send it to me. And it was a part of the original cover art, right? So his signature was under his picture and mine was under mine. And, shortly after that, he ended up buying a mic, or did we just have my mic at first?
We had yours, but I ended up buying one.
Right.
As
Yeah. Yep. That's right. So yeah, you ended up buying a nano.
well. Yep. The blue.
The blue nano, and I had the blue snowball. And we pulled up. We shot a pilot episode that never came out, and we might have talked for probably roughly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Probably not the best listen, but we did it. And then shortly after that, we were like, man, I think we really could do this. And we ended up having our first guest on, which was Big Rez.
No. You skipping parts.
What I skip?
So after the first pilot, we was like,
We need visuals.
We need visuals.
You're right, brother. And at the time, I didn't know
That's
Gumbosa.
Very, very important.
That's a very, very important. At the time,
See how they trying to rewrite history?
you're right.
Bro,
They trying to,
and see,
like this man ain't sitting right here.
they trying to write you out.
And this is
Crazy.
why. And this is why.
Like, dog.
This is why we have 4 mics. See, and if you'd had your mic, told you to bring your clip on, brother. But okay, sorry. Let me back. Okay, so EJ said we need visuals. At the time, I didn't know Bo, even though we all went to Hardaway roughly around the same time.
And
He's
we
a lot
all worked
older.
together.
And we had all worked together previously, but again, I didn't know them other than EJ. We worked together on a commercial for his brand, 10 Feet. I did the beat. Gumbosa shot the visual. It was his vision, and our brothers, our brothers Tie Dye
Rez.
and Big Rez rapped, and
J. King.
yeah,
Yeah.
J King, and I forget.
RJ.
And RJ hooped. RJ was the basketball player in the video. All right, so go back to the Free Gems origin story. Boom. So we recruited Bo. EJ recruited Bo. I didn't know Bo at the time. Met Bo. I was like, damn, this nigga can dress. This nigga is fashionable. It's just crazy. He should be on camera. But okay, so yeah, we got Bo, and then we end up saying, all right, first guest. And I'm sure it was EJ's idea because I also didn't know Big Rez.
And he was dropping a project.
And he
had already dropped a project.
He had dropped a project, The Biggest Vibe.
Yep.
Right? He had dropped The Biggest Vibe.
He recorded that at JLC.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because as we was pulling up, Bo was like, Rez recorded some music here. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so boom. So right. Cool. That's dope. Crazy. All right, so boom. We ended up having Rez on, man, and we shot our first episode in my apartment. And the rest is history, brother.
Yeah.
We shot the first 3 seasons at my apartment.
And so, how did y'all?
Apartment that's down in history.
Yeah, man.
Take it down. Crazy. How did my next question would be, how did y'all keep it going? Because I saw this thing. I had a couple artists try to start podcasts, and I'm like, okay, here's the pros and cons. And one main thing is that most podcasts, 80% of podcasts fail before they reach 20 episodes.
Correct.
And so how did y'all keep going? How did y'all keep that momentum?
I'm going to answer it.
Go ahead, brother.
So one of the biggest things that Will made mention when we first, all 3 of us first linked up was, yo, we need to hang out, we need to talk, and we need to just keep the chemistry together.
Yeah.
And
I said that?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like he might have not said it verbatim, but he was just like,
it sounded like something I probably would have said, but keep going.
He was like, we need to pretty much stick together because in the past, like he said, he tried this
solo.
I tried this with some other guys, and we didn't have chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Or even if we did, it wasn't like people weren't taking it serious.
Correct.
And because we were very, very big sticklers of, brotherhood and just being friends and, catching up, hanging out, whatever, that was like the glue. So once, and on top of that is, even though we didn't like sit down and go over roles, everybody had their role. So if I'm the PR person and I'm talking to people and I'm booking these interviews, he's doing audio, Bo doing the visuals, we got something to look forward to because every week we're putting out these projects, these mini projects. And that's what, a podcast is and was to us. Every time we dropped was like a new album. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, because once again, the biggest connection that we all share is music.
Correct.
So even when it came to the guerrilla marketing on social media and posting all the time and just whatever, that was something to look forward to.
Right.
So if you keep it fun and if you keep it, and if y'all are close knit and y'all are friends and boys or girls or whatever that y'all say that y'all are, you should be able to do this seamless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One thing I can say about us, we never got into it. Even if we felt the way about each other, we stuck together. So that was like one of the biggest reasons on why we continue this.
Yeah. Because we're in season 6 and we are technically we're at 100 episodes already.
Hit the.
Oh yeah, man. Technically, we're at 100 episodes already, man.
I didn't even know this.
Technically, if we take some other things into account, then we're past 100 episodes. With the Free Gems episodes, we're like in 97, 96.
Oh, okay.
We're close. We're really close. But if you take some other things into consideration,
Like Till the Cup is Empty. Oh, we have other shows as well.
if you take Till the Cup is Empty,
Gym Girls.
because there's
the rap
5
sessions.
episodes Till the Cup is Empty, four or 5 episodes. Technically, we're at 100 already.
Okay, so let's just count this as 100.
There you go.
So I can throw 100.
Throw 100 on this one?
Yeah, throw 100 on
We
this
can throw 100 on this one, man. But yeah, man, so that's pretty much it, man. So, hey, look, if you want to be a podcaster and you're having troubles trying to keep that thing afloat, one of the things, other than hang out with your podmates, that's important. Camaraderie is important. That family aspect is important because at the end of the day, all three of us lived separate lives before we got together, and we live separate lives now. He is married with 2 kids. I'm married with 1 kid, and my daughter gonna be born within a week or 2.
Yeah, congratulations.
And Gumbosa, it's all over the world. So we all have our own lives at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And what keeps us all together is that we in real life talk to each other. We in real life check on each other, and we keep that first. You know, so even if we don't pod for 2-3 weeks, even though we, you know, every Monday is a pod day, if we end up having to skip 2-3 weeks, that's not gonna crumble us.
Yeah.
You know, when we come back, we just gonna hit it hard, and that's what it is. And you know, that's the best advice I can give to any podcast out there. Oh, another piece of advice I would give you is that you don't need something like this. This is a Rodecaster Pro. You don't need the Rodecaster Pro 2. You don't need to go and spend $600 on something like this. Okay, you can start with your phone. You can start with that snowball like we started out with that cost me $65 maybe. If you get the older model, yeah, probably around $65. The newer snowballs run you about $90.
Yeah.
You could start with something like that. You probably could start with something even cheaper. Who knows?
Bro, we've recorded episodes straight off the phone.
Straight off the phone.
And this is like we got seasons in, all of that.
Fuck that. Let me show you how we was trapping it. Off the snowball with 3 people talking on it.
For sure.
The same mic.
You want to talk about getting it out the mud. That's getting it out the mud. We had 1 mic right in the middle. 1 person, just how we're setting up now. It's just 1 snowball right here. And we made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work. So even if you can't afford 3-4 mics, go get you that snowball, man. It records on both sides.
Yeah.
It records on both sides. You have someone sitting in front of it, and if you and your, you know, if you got 2 people who conduct the interviews or conduct the conversation, have them sit close enough, and y'all can talk right in that snowball.
Yep.
And it's gonna work.
Yep.
It's gonna work, man. So hey, look, don't give up, man. You can do it. And if you want to be a record label owner and you want to do good sound engineering,
Man, listen to this episode.
listen to this episode, man, and hit up Justin, man, Provida Records.
Hit me up. Come record.
Yeah.
I love to have you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man.
I don't got nothing else,
I
bro.
don't got nothing else either, man. How we like to end off our show is top 5.
It's another this or that. Nah, top 5. Let's do. Oh, you got it? Go ahead.
No.
You got it, brother.
No, brother. You had the dice already in your hand. You about to roll them, so go ahead.
Top 5, Bo. What's the top 5?
You know what? I need you. That mention something about Igor. Give me. I need the top 5 albums of all time.
Top 5 albums
I
of
knew
all
it.
time,
I knew it was
Justin.
coming.
Here we go.
All right. Igor, my number 1.
Okay.
Shout out Tyler.
Storytelling, go crazy on it. I just love the story, the raw emotion behind it. I love when an artist could truly just be open and honest because that's not like his music is not for everybody. And I love that because for the people that it is for, they really love it. They really relate on a level that it's just something about hearing a song or 3 or 4 or 5 that's just like, man, like I felt all these emotions or I'm feeling them now. Like this album came right on time.
Right.
And Igor came like
Right on
perfect.
time.
Perfect
Yeah.
for me. Gotta be The Life of Pablo for my number 2.
Shout out, Ye.
That's just all through, no misses, no skips. Number 3,
Enjoyable merch, too.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. For number 3,
Rollout was crazy in the Madison Square Garden.
yeah. Oh my goodness,
Yeah, bro.
goodness, iconic, legendary.
What? That's your show? Come on, man. You
I,
had
and
everybody.
I love. That's how you know you made it. That's how you know you made it when you could drop an album and don't put the people that's featured on it. It's like you just hear something new every time you click on a new track. It's like
Yeah.
you don't know who on it.
Travis Scott.
Yeah, Travis Scott do it too.
Yep.
And I love that. I love that because I love when I'm listening to No More Parties in L.A. on
Yeah.
that track and Kendrick Lamar hop on there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Kendrick, or
Going crazy.
Ultralight Beam and Chance the Rapper come on, and then Kirk Franklin at the end saying a prayer. It's just like
That's too much.
just when it's just when you think the song is over, it's like stuff like that. So that one has, I always go back to it. Number 3, I have to go with a J. Cole album. I gotta say Forest Hill Drive, but my personal favorite, I don't think it's better than Forest Hill, but For Your Eyes Only
I know
top
it.
tier.
is my personal favorite J.
Bro,
Cole album.
yes,
It's-
bro.
You can't touch it. It's so
It's
good.
fire.
So good. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have to go Blonde. I love me some Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. Shout out Frank.
I could play that any time of the day, any mood I'm in. Gotta go Blonde. And number 5, gotta cut some people out.
Where's Off the Wall? Didn't he say this was his favorite
Yeah, he
album?
did.
That's my favorite Michael Jackson album. That's
Oh,
my
just favorite.
album.
Okay.
But like when I'm like sitting, I feel like that was like my favorite for because I was a big like into the oldies music. That's why
Yeah.
I like that was just the foundation for everything I know musically. Is just like the first thing I ever made on GarageBand was me sitting in my grandma's bathroom on GarageBand, busted headphones, and I'm like making a 5-part harmony little song.
Yeah.
And it was inspired by things like that. So that's what really got me going. I'm like, man, I love making this music stuff. And so I always have a place in my heart and respect for the older music. I still watch the 5 Heartbeats every month. I still watch the Temptations every other week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the 5 spot is so hard for me, because I'm like, man.
Yeah. Who do you give it to, man? But we need it. We need it. So no cop outs. We need the 5.
Yeah. I got to say, I'm gonna go with. Actually, I'm gonna throw y'all different. I'm gonna go with Dreamville, The Revenge of the Dreamers.
Which one?
That's 2. Revenge of the Dreamers 2.
2. Okay. I respect. 2 is the one. The dollar bill is stuck to old boy head. Is that 2 or is that 1? Which one is
I
that?
think that's.
No. I thought that.
That's 1, because The Revenge of the Dreamers is the trophy one.
Yeah.
The second one is the trophy one.
That's the okay.
So-
Yeah. Okay.
That's hard, man.
Got it.
Yeah, Revenge of the Dreamers. Just how they all came on that. I'm like, I gotta do something. That's why this may be looking
You want
for.
a compilation?
Yeah, we're
that's
gonna
your
do that.
inspiration for it.
Yeah, that right there.
This or that.
This
5
is
Heartbeats or the Temptations.
5. The 5 Heartbeats
Trying to
because
steal my songs.
facts. I was like, I wasn't even ready for another one to do. But the 5 Heartbeats, that's my favorite movie of all time. Can't touch it.
Okay.
Jody's
Touch
gonna
it.
hear this and be pissed. My wife
I
loves.
I love the Temptations. They're like neck and neck. The only reason I like the 5 Heartbeats slightly more is just because it's a shorter movie. I can watch it just like doing anything. Temptations 2 parts, it's 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I know every word, every song in there. I know the background songs and everything, just while they talking.
Yeah.
So those are just foundations. And Mo Better Blues. We'll never forget about Mo Better Blues.
Right. Man, thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
This was great.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Hey, look, man. Another great episode.
Of Free Gems Podcast.
Let Justin tell us it's episode 100, so we gonna roll with it.
Now we gotta go get a drink or something.
Right. And this concludes
Another great episode.
another great episode